Hey guys, Francesca Amato here. Nice to see you all. So the video I did before this one with regards to ADA, please forgive me. I was literally interrupted every sentence. I couldn't even get my thoughts together. But tonight I wanted to do something special. And I will touch more, obviously, on ADA accommodations and how courts are failing people and how they're violating the ADA in major ways. But I want to talk about something that changes you just like that. You want to see? Okay, hold on, watch. It'll turn a sane person into an insane person in a second. You want to see? Oh, look at you. You're so cute. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. I mean, look at this cuteness. Look at this cuteness. This is a cutie. So anyway, this is Millie. She's part of our family, and we just got her, oh gosh, I think it's only about 6 days ago, and she's 13 weeks old, and she weighs 4.5 pounds, and she's a purebred pug. And I have a 6-year-old pug named Lily. So this one's Millie, the other's Lily, and then I also have Wesley, which if you go through my beginning when I first started on TikTok, you'll hear him singing. He's adorable. He's half pug, half Boston Terrier. But the reason I'm bringing this little cutie on tonight is to talk about your ADA rights and service dogs versus emotional support dogs, ESAs, and how people say that ESAs are not social, I can't stop looking at her, are not service dogs, but they are. If a dog provides a service, and they're not even allowed to ask you, but if a dog provides a service, and it could literally be just leaning, which makes you feel calm and at peace, something very simple like that, because your dog literally takes on your heartbeat and matches your heartbeat, that is considered a service. And you could make your ESA dog a full service dog. All of mine are. And the thing is, there's one thing you need to know is that your dogs can't act up. So my dogs are trained as far as peeing and pooping, and as far as behaving. My one dog, Lily, she became a little bit where she would bark a lot, and that happened during COVID when everybody was wearing masks because she was scared. She was looking at these masks and she was going, who are these masked men and what are they doing, and so it was kind of scaring her, and she would bark. And we were in a hotel one time, and somebody behind the desk is like, is that really a service dog? Which she wasn't allowed to. And their manager came up and she got in trouble. And I didn't really want to get the woman in trouble, but I mean, of all people to ask me, you do not have to show ID, but I do have ID for my dogs. They cannot ask you the same crazy questions that the courts try to ask you, what's wrong with you? Because everybody needs a little emotional support sometimes, don't you think? Everybody. You don't have to have something wrong with you. And that's literally what's really important about like when courts do this to people, like when the judge thinks they have the right to ask you what's wrong with you, like as if they think they could adjudicate a disability, there are major privacies. Now, Texas, I understand, which I'm going to do a whole different video about it, right now has banned ESAs. I think they banned certain types of service dogs, or they made it so that it's hard for people to fake service dogs. Listen, guys, it's not hard to get your dog turned into a service dog, okay? And if your dog is providing a service, and if that service is emotional support, it doesn't just have to be like a seeing eye dog, a dog that guides you, a dog that if you have a epileptic seizure knows what to do, a dog that knows how to get your medication. There's all kinds of things that service dogs do. And emotional support it really upsets me because visible, physically seen disabilities are what people acknowledge, but they don't see the internal stuff sometimes, or they discriminate against the internal stuff when they shouldn't be, because a lot of people go through a lot of different kinds of trauma, and we should all treat each other with respect and kindness anyway. We shouldn't have to have all these laws telling people to act right. But the point is that those types of disabilities are, in fact, disabilities, okay? And that doesn't make you less than a human being, okay? And another thing that pisses me off with some judges is that, well, they seemed perfectly fine and they were very smart. So as if saying that people that have disabilities don't have intelligence. Like, it's totally insane. It's really insane. And so, that's why I talk about all kinds of professional fields. And within those professional fields, no matter what they may be, all the people that work in those professional fields, even if they have 4 master's degrees, or they're just a high school graduate, can have certain types of invisible injuries, okay, which allows you to have ADA access and ADA accommodations and ADA supports. So I will talk more about what's going on in Texas. Oh my God, Texas is really not my favorite. It used to be, but not anymore. With all the corruption that's going on there, it's quite sad. It's quite sad. I'd love to see people stand up and fight for their rights all over again in this country, and stand up and do the right thing, and let's stop having to beg for everything that is already ours. It's kind of ridiculous. But I did want to put that out there today. She took off, she walked. She went looking probably to find something off the floor to eat, because that's what she does. And I'm going to tell you, if anybody's used to that show, going into another topic, but if anybody ever used to watch that 70s show, and you know, Fez, I really want to get a pug, male pug now, and name it Fez. And so I can say to that pug, don't eat that off the floor. And you guys, if you watch that show, you know exactly what I mean by that. If you didn't, you're going to have to go look it up, but look up Fez. But anyhow, yes, so I did want to talk about that today. There are, you know, that is basically it. If your animal, your service animal, and it could be emotional support, if your service animal performs some kind of something that you need, some kind of an accommodation that you need, then you can have your dog converted to a service dog, so to speak, and you can you can get a hold of me, and I can draft something for you. You can talk to your doctor, and I'll draft something for you so that you can get your service dog cards and so on and so forth. However, they cannot ask you at a hotel. I don't have any problems. Like, you know, I guess it depends on where you go sometimes too, and how informed or how much people love animals. So if I go into certain areas of New York, animals they're welcome. Now, I was in Maryland a few weeks ago. I was in Annapolis, Maryland, and we sat at a restaurant, and everybody had dogs. Everybody had dogs. They all sat, behaved, and that's an important factor. Like, your dogs have to be behaved. They can't be going crazy. They can't be, you know, peeing all over the place. They have to be behaved. My dogs are all behaved. And, you know, that can be something that's an issue. But I can tell you that sometimes if a certain dog is an emotional support to a person, and maybe they're getting older, and so it looks like it stopped for a second there. I'm sorry. I do want to say, I hope that I didn't get cut off, but I do want to say I will be talking a lot more about this topic to you guys, not just about, you know, service dogs and emotional support dogs and so on and so forth, but just about the Americans with Disability Act, because I get a lot of questions constantly about this very topic. And you know, if you do need my help, you can get that help by going, it's right in my bio, would be my website, which is beingaparent.com. There's the Book a Talk section, and that will be a Book a Talk session with me. And it comes with a assigned intake specialist that will be the first part of your session. And then we go from there. Secondly, if you go to the homepage on that website, the number 4, beingaparent.com. There's so much encouraging information there, and there's a lot of it. So go scroll all the way down to the bottom. There are amazing testimonies of so many cases that we've won, children who have been protected, and we're not attorneys, and that's the most fun part about it. We give it to you real and tell you what's really going on in these horrible family courts and CPS and all this. Ugh. Law enforcement, the politicians, it's just everywhere. But, you know, it's important to be informed, and it's important to know your rights. It's just really important to know what's going on in this country. Everything you've been told is a lie. The family court, I mean, you know, I have amazing fathers in my fathers and husbands and male figures in my family, just amazing. But we've been told a lie for so many years that the family court, and I'll have to get into, it's cutting down on time here, but the family court is anti-father, and that is like, they're all getting custody, and it's the abusive fathers that are getting custody, not decent, good men. And only abusive fathers would take full custody from good moms. That's just crazy. It's unheard of by any normal thinking, rational man. It's not even in their character or their makeup, unless they're saving their children from genuine abuse. That's completely different. But there's just so much, and I encourage you to go through all my TikToks, because I think you'll really enjoy them, and there's a lot to learn. And just remember, unlearn what you've learned so that you can learn the truth. And thank you for watching, and have a great day.